From the Figure 4 Online Studios in beautiful Bothell, Washington, exclusively at WrestlingObserver.com, you're listening to the Bryan and Vinny Show with your hosts, Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V.
All right, everybody, it is the Bryan, Vinny, Granny, Craig, Shawn show here today. January 24, 2023, figure4online.com/wrestlingobserver.com. And yeah, we are back. We were not here last week because of the untimely passing of Jay Briscoe. We canceled the show at the last minute. And so we got a lot to catch up on here today. Haven't talked to Granny in like 2 weeks now. Right, Granny? 2 weeks?
Did you disconnect her?
Can't meet her.
Let's try that again. We haven't talked to you in 2 weeks, have we, Granny?
Didn't you hear me?
Nah, I had the wrong button pushed.
Oh, I said yes.
Yeah. We're 5 minutes late here today because we couldn't get Granny connected. Now she's connected and she's muted.
I've got 9 o'clock sharp, Bryan.
Well, your clock is 9 o'clock sharp wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever they say. It's 9:06.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Golly,
Been running late all day and she didn't even know.
Got to wind that thing, right? A pocket watch from 1840.
Just not even a wind-up or anything. Not electric, just a clock.
Wow.
When the battery gets low.
Now, we also have not been on the show since Shawn here got married. Congratulations to Shawn.
Oh,
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
you'll be sorry.
Are you not on either, Shawn?
No, I don't think so.
Nope.
I can hear myself through your.
I can hear him barely.
No,
Now talk.
Hello? No.
No.
How about now?
No,
No.
I can hear. You can hear him over my mic.
Yeah, just keep talking. Everyone just talk or something.
Everyone
wanna
just
come over
talk
here?
or something.
Well, it's my 10-day anniversary.
Oh, good.
I will turn my mic towards him as he shouts.
Explain why we don't have presents today.
All right, so we'll get to Shawn in a minute. So, yeah, we, and by we I mean Bryan, discovered like a big stash of unopened Christmas presents from the Christmas show. Bryan has cords that are sitting there unplugged. Can't imagine why Shawn's mic's not working. But
He's our leader.
yeah, so there's presents we are going to open on the show from the Christmas show that we're not doing today because I forgot to remind him until it was like 9:05. After getting Granny's technology fixed and before finding out Shawn's technology needed fixing, in the interim there, the space in between, I reminded Bryan that there are still presents to open, and he said we'll do it next time. And that's the plan.
You know, Brian's always yelling about calling it in the ring and being spontaneous. This is what happens.
Yeah. Should we turn the cameras towards him? I feel like the folks at home are missing out.
Right?
Oh, wait, here we
Hey,
go. I can
it's
definitely
Shawn.
hear myself now.
Hey, there he is.
Thank you.
There you go.
So, yes, it's my 10-day anniversary.
Do you know we used to not go live? Yeah. Sure was a lot easier back then.
It was much easier.
God. All right, where were we? You're married now.
Yes. It's my 10-day anniversary. I did bring in my vows, 'cause in case you wanted to bring those up. And then I brought your daughter a E.T. book, because apparently she fell in love with E.T. after...
Well, you know, my daughter gets fixated on things, as any 6-year-old would. Yeah. And she was in a space, and then she was in Aliens. And so Shawn's wedding was an 80s themed wedding.
Yes, so I had different tables that were themed for different movies.
Yes.
And Bryan and his wife and children sat at the E.T. table.
That's exactly what happened. And there was a little E.T. book right there. And I read it. And then I read it again. And then I read it again. And again, and again. I don't even know what happened to the wedding, dude. I don't know what happened to the wedding. I just read this book all night.
I can confirm they did get married.
And then her question was, can you get me an E.T. doll? Oh. And, you know, what's funny is I thought, where the fuck am I going to find an E.T. doll? That movie came out before my wife was born. And I went to Amazon, and there's like a bunch of them. And so I got her one, and I ordered the same book that I had read her 50 times. And then Shawn brought over the other book here tonight, so I should have just got the book from you. And, so I ended up, she's obsessed with E.T. now. I will not let her watch the movie because, do you remember, Granny, when I was exactly Paisley's age, I was 6, and Lynn took me to the movie E.T.?
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, the alien gets very sick and dies in a medical emergency. Yeah, I didn't make it past that part. I fled the theater.
Can I also say that they have, since a lot of people are upset about it, but they cleaned it up in such a way that George Lucas erased the guns in the movie, so you can watch it without guns if you want to.
Now instead of pointing guns at each other, they point like tasers or something.
And flashlights,
Flashlights or something. Yeah, they actually changed that. But anyway, so I don't let her watch the movie, but she's obsessed with E.T., and apparently they re-released E.T. on IMAX in 2022. And that's why there's tons of E.T. merchandise.
Aha.
So I've had to buy her a book. I had to buy her a doll. I had to buy her a backpack, which, by the way, was $80. I found out when I brought it up to the front
E.T.
counter.
personally hand deliver it to you?
It's made of like leather. It's like a leather.
It's made of E.T.?
E.T. Maybe, actually. That may be what happened to him after he died. But anyway.
Apparently you didn't finish watching the movie.
Die.
Yeah, I didn't finish watching the movie. I fucking fled. I don't know what happened to the alien.
So I was downstairs getting some water, and I saw that she was writing like Valentine's Day cards to
Yeah,
E.T.
did you
as
see
well.
that card?
I did.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
She wrote a card to E.T. E.T., I love you. You're my best friend. Paisley. So anyway, read us your vows, because Vinny urinated on stage. I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not. He was the best man. And he literally urinated in the middle of these vows.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. I was right there.
Oh, I see. I know what you're talking about. Yes. No, I laughed, everyone.
So I want to set this up just a little bit because a lot of people may not understand my past. So this is my second marriage, and my first marriage did not go very well. She was an awful person who treated me badly.
Can't confirm.
So that is why these vows exist, and I know that you took a picture of the first page or the first note card.
Well, yeah, I think.
And out of context, I mean, just that makes it seem like my vows were awful. But I think with the rest of it, it makes a little more sense. So at least can I get through the part where it makes sense?
Sure, yeah. Well, the floor is yours.
Go ahead.
So, the last time I did this, I said, "To death do us part." And as much as I prayed for that to happen, it didn't.
That's where I peed.
Yeah, he started crying. He was laughing so hard, Vinny.
Yeah, there was lots of laughter. But then, as I look back at that extremely difficult part of my life, I can say it was worth it. All the wrong turns, stumbles, and falls brought me here to you in this moment.
Now, we should make it very clear, Shawn, that your vows were indicating that you wished for your own death.
I didn't specify that at all.
Yes, I know.
It's up for interpretation.
I want to interpret it. Well, anyway, yeah. So he round 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even actually know there was a round 1. I thought that round.
Yes, 2 women married him.
Well, no, I thought it was ended before it actually occurred.
Oh,
I see.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You knew her.
Yeah,
briefly.
I think so.
Yeah.
Don't say her name here on the air.
No. That would be terrible.
But I think so. Yeah.
Your paths did cross at least once, yeah.
No, our paths did cross, in fact.
Oh, yeah, at Buddy's. She was there when you guys wrestled for the Empire. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. Did you do the Battle of the Empire?
Yeah, she's in the video with me.
Oh, I forgot
Really?
about that.
And Evan is there, too.
I forgot about
Oh, my
that.
God. Everyone's going to be looking at that video now.
Yeah, I'm the one laughing the loudest.
That's
Well,
true.
Granny, you should have been there for this this wedding. You would have, when they asked if anyone, has anything ever hold your peace, you'd have jumped up, whatever it is.
I say, don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, you did it now, Granny. You're late.
Well, I'm 10 days happy, so I'm glad I did.
10
Yeah.
days happy. That's right.
What more could you ask for?
Next week, you'll be 17 days happy, perhaps.
Hopefully.
Yeah, if not, you'll hear it here first, everybody. All right.
Let's move on.
Well.
Granny.
What's up, Granny? Yeah.
Oh. Haven't been doing very much of anything.
You're 93.
Lynn came over today and fixed hers. She's fixing up a quilt. By the way, they're moving to Kashmir in April.
I thought they already lived there.
Oh, come on.
I thought they already lived there, but now I know they're going to live there. Yes. Did she bring over E.T. by any chance?
No,
Okay, good.
not into that. She
Well-
did bring over lunch, though.
Yeah, you know the two most vivid memories of my childhood with my aunt and uncle is one of them took me to E.T. and the other one showed me Cujo.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, that one's worse. And
Not fond memories.
May
Yeah.
explain to why you think someone died at the end.
Really didn't like that dog.
You know, really, both of those films are really traumatic for a child.
No shit. Yeah, they sure were. They sure were. Man,
explains
you know,
a lot,
I was in the
actually.
park the other day. You know, another story real quick. Not a big dog guy myself. So I dropped Hanalei off at her little, her thing. And then I went to walk in the park. Okay? And this dude sitting at a table on his phone not paying any attention. And man, this dude's dog looked at me and it started barking. And it was a big dog. This dog weighed way more than I did. And it was like a movie. It fucking leaped at me. And it had the leash on. And so this dog got about maybe a foot away from me when it reached the end of its leash. And its lower body kept going. Obviously, its head stopped. Did a full fucking flip and fell on the ground. And then the guy's like, Cujo's, knock that shit off. And I got out of there. But I'm like, man, if that dog hadn't been tied down, I'd be dead right now. Right there in the park. Just a park.
Do you remember the type of dog that almost knocked you over? Was it like a terrier?
It was a big dog, dude.
Oh.
It was a big dog of some sort. Let's do these questions, Vinny. Get to work, dude.
Yes, sir.
What do you think I'd
Jack
pay you
Russell.
for?
No, I've never
Twitter?
understood that.
Jack Russell, yes.
Okay, Granny writes, let's try questions again. So the first question we have here is from Rob King. If you had to give Bryan a different first name, what would you rename him?
Oh, gee.
Chico, I think you're right.
Yeah, I guess so. Chico.
Perfect.
No, I don't like it. I like Bryan.
Okay. Bryan,
Thanks, Granny.
A perfect name. Travis F. Adams wants to know what is your favorite TV show or radio show growing up?
What was that name?
Twilight Zone.
The train thing, Bryan.
Train thing.
The train thing?
Soul Train. Soul Train is your favorite
Soul
TV show.
Train?
Snowpiercer?
Oh, no.
The train thing?
Thomas the Tank
Is there a radio show or a TV show?
The whistle one. My memory's so bad.
The
Andy
whistle
Griffith.
one. Andy Griffith?
No, but I'm watching him now.
Thomas the Train.
Matlock.
I'm
There's a
terrible.
train whistle?
I don't know.
Are we talking radio show or TV show, Granny?
Is that an episode of The Twilight Zone? The last stop at Willoughby?
No.
Okay.
I'll think about it while we're...
All right, keep going, Vinny.
Joseph Callahan Augustus Daly II wants to know if you are excited for Tubbs Subs opening in Bothell. He adds, it's the best.
Oh, is that all that is? I thought they were putting in a big company of some kind.
Is it better than Tubbs in the University District?
I hope so.
Well, it's still open, so one would think yes.
Okay.
I've never been to a Tubbs Gourmet Subs. Looking at their menu
No.
here. Mixed rations.
I bet you the sub shop's a lot cleaner than the Tubbs place. Shawn.
I would feel comfortable eating here.
I would hope so.
They have.
Aren't they good?
I never had them. I just said that. But their sandwiches are organized by protein.
Tugs and Subs?
Tubbs.
Where's this at?
Bryan.
No, that's a different place.
Lake City.
That's Tubbs, actually.
They have.
Yeah.
It probably is Lake City.
They have a tuna sandwich. It was.
No, it's
How about
Funny,
that?
Tubbs has a tuna sandwich as well.
It does, yeah. The ham/bacon section of their menu. Turkey. Beef,
What the fuck's going on right now?
These are subs you can get.
Do they have other locations?
Yes, they do.
Yes, I've heard of them.
Oh, okay.
It's about
99?
visit. I'll click on that
I
one.
looked it up on Google.
There's one in Lake City Way, in fact. One in Linwood. I guess that's it.
Checks out.
I guess Bothel's the third one.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a couple of questions here from the super followers here.
Oh, this is gonna be great. I can already tell.
Subscribers on Twitter. I just like the way this question is worded. Chad asks Granny, why is Bryan a bad seed? 47 years, never been asked that before. A bad seed.
Because you haven't been planted.
That's true.
Wow. Wow. Huh. Well, Chase here says, Granny, what genres of music do you enjoy listening to besides the train whistle?
I love a mystery.
Mystery music?
That's a genre of music?
That's the one before that I was trying to think
You know,
about.
I've looked through that Spotify thing on my car, and I don't see mystery as one of the genres of music.
Magical Mystery Tour. What's that?
Hey, Granny,
Sarah
if you could
McLachlan
give Vinny a
has a song called
makeover,
Mystery.
if you could give Vinny a makeover, what would you do? From Lou Lyon.
I don't know. He's okay.
I think the shirt's first, in my
okay.
opinion.
How dare you?
You are okay.
My mother.
Even Ric Flair on Monday, look at that shirt and go, what the fuck?
My mother got me this shirt. How dare you?
No.
Yes, Craig.
It's a beautiful shirt.
Thank you.
I was just going to say that Buddy Wayne and I tried hard one time.
Oh, God.
I forgot Craig was there.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's good times.
And we're
Cool.
We're you know what's even better is we were trying to give him a makeover to hook him up with Shauna.
Shauna.
Yeah.
Who is Nick Wayne's mom, Buddy's future wife.
Yeah, future wife, future mom. at the
That
time.
tells you everything you need to know about how much faith Buddy had in your abilities
to pull
Vinny.
this off. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna try and make this guy look so good that my future wife will be enamored, and it didn't work.
This is a true story.
And
that-
she knew immediately.
Yep.
Immediately what was going on.
Yeah.
Yes, Shawn.
Vinny and I once did an episode of Comics on Delivery with remote control host Ken Ober, where he
wow.
took us around Lake City Way to get us clothing for a makeover.
That technically they did film it. I don't think it ever aired anywhere.
I don't think it aired either, but it did happen.
Yeah. We must have been really funny.
Yeah, I'll bet, man.
The show was canceled soonly after.
Yeah, we must have been. We must have killed.
They looked at the pilot and canceled it.
I have thought about this in 15, 20 years. It was a long time ago, but we went out and filmed one thing, and then we all went out to lunch, and the Ken Oberton, the producer, sat there eating for 4 hours.
Wow.
We're like, are we gonna film a show here or what? What's?
They're getting paid for that. It's nice.
Yeah. Mrs. Gibson John asks, what is the best meal you ever had, and can I treat you to it on a date?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember.
You can't remember your favorite meal?
All I can think of is Wendy's hamburgers.
Okay, well, it's better than saying a pork chop. Go ahead, Vinny.
Carmine the Very has a question mostly for Craig, but he welcomes all opinions. Does Smashing Pumpkins count as a grunge band?
First of all, I despise the term grunge. It was a made-up term that some reporter called Sub Pop, and it was just
welcome to being a wrestling fan.
It was just a joke. It was just a joke.
Well, now it's what it is.
The timing checks out right. They came out about the same time as Seattle broke. I got to see them, early on, right after Siamese Dream came up, and within a little club called Club Oz. Remember that place? Held about 500 people. So I'll say they fit in with the Seattle scene, but I will not use the term grunge.
Didn't we run into Billy Corgan walking into the WCW show at the Tacoma Dome, the pay-per-view, the Spring Stampede?
I don't think so.
I think we ran into Corgan at one
Dude, that
of
was
those
late
events.
90s. He was a huge star then. He would not just
We
be-
ran into him at one of these shows.
You don't know how big that WCW was, Vinny.
Yeah.
Golly, I mean, they had Jay Leno wrestling for him, you know. All right, what else do we got for Granny?
Has anyone here watched either that 90s show or that 70s show? I never watched either one.
Watch 70 show a lot. but-
All right.
Vinny,
Yes.
be sure and read Tim's.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is a Tim. It's Tim Simcoe. I think a different Tim. But he wants to know which character from that 90s show or that 70s show do you identify with the most? I watched that 70s show once and didn't laugh and never watched it again.
I like how Tim now goes in to chat with Granny, to tell Granny to tell Vinny to ask his question here on the show.
Well, this Tim's a real mark for himself, isn't he?
I don't know, Craig, but he writes here, not a Tim, the Tim.
Oh, okay.
Tim's question sucks.
Wow. Well, what is it?
Are you sure?
Well,
Oh, come on. He said it was a funny one.
All right.
He said that.
comedy is in the eye of the beholder.
Another Twilight Zone episode.
All right. I'll read this. From Tim Page, everyone. Question, he says for all. If you clog a toilet at a party,
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Who is this? Vince McMahon? Come on, Tim. Get out of here.
Well.
Granny did think it was funny. You haven't even finished a question. She's laughing.
Do you seek out the homeowner and fix it, or do you blame it on the last person who used the bathroom? What does this show come to?
You know what it's come to? Dead silence. And Tim wants to produce this show.
Although appropriate, for I suppose, for a Raw where we're going to review commentary by Bastion Booger.
Very true.
And the answer is I blame it on Tim.
Oh, my
What's the next question?
Andrew Collins wants to know which character from the Police Academy movies was your favorite.
Academy
Hightower.
movies? I never watched them.
Actually, what's the name of the guy who did the sound effects?
Mouth or
Winslow?
Winslow.
That guy actually is
Winslow.
phenomenally talented. That guy's amazing.
doing Hendrix and stuff. Yeah, that guy is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were like a Zeppelin.
I'd have to go with Apple. What was his name? He
Apple
died.
Bottom?
No.
Oh, sorry. Different character.
That's from Cocomelon. This is Apple Bottom, the teacher.
Is it really?
I remember the Blue Oyster
Something
Club.
pretty close to that. Let's do one more.
All right.
I think it's actually Appleberry.
That makes more sense.
But if you've watched the show, I mean,
I got it later. Okay, next one then.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Fair enough. Jerry Richards, what do you remember about World War II? Did you have any relatives in it?
My dad was in it.
No.
Really?
Yeah. I have some more stuff on my ancestry.
Well, what can you tell us?
Do you want it now?
What side did he fight for?
No better time than the present.
Okay. My dad
Not a bad
actually
question.
came over. He was from Russia. And my mom was born in the United States.
So where's Germany come in all this? You're always talking about Germany.
It's my mom's ancestry.
So your mom's ancestry is from Germany, but she was born in America.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dad had 3 sisters and 2 brothers, and I never met a single one of them, and they lived in South Dakota.
Huh.
And his youngest sister died the same year that my mom, in 1972. And I know when who his parents were, and when they were born, and when they died.
1800s?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think my dad was 92. Yeah,
1892.
Yeah, 1892.
We are talking to someone on this program whose father was born in 1892.
And he died in 1956, so that made him only 60-some years old.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so. But my brother got one of those obituary things somebody gave him, and it said that he was in the Civil War.
Wow. What?
Yeah, they had it in it, that he was in that.
He was in the Civil War.
He wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive to be in a war that occurred before you were born.
Granny, were you born during Prohibition?
She was born in 29.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Prohibition ended like 31.
Yeah.
Wow.
She didn't do a lot of drinking in the first couple of years of her life.
Well, that's when they were moonshining.
Yep.
Yes.
Bringing in whiskey everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Wow.
the Dukes of Hazzard.
That is how NASCAR got started.
You know, that's what Prohibition was like. The Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good old boys, never
Yes.
mean no harm.
Yeah. 1933, Shawn.
I said okay. I said 31. didn't I?
31, yeah.
That's when Capone
My
went
dad
to
was
prison.
my dad was 22 when he was in the service, and he was 11 years older than my mom.
He was.
Well, I hope they get married for several years after that. Then
So he was in World War I, not World War II.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, World War I.
this does make more
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, he couldn't have been in World War II at 22 unless he had you when he was like 8.
That's right. It was World War One.
World War I. My God.
The 2 began 39, I think. With
We are talking
Germany
in
invading
2023 to a person on this program whose father was in World War I.
Yeah.
Wow.
All my brothers were in the service.
Wow. All right. Well, let's do the wrestling report.
Great segue.
Yeah.
How about opening presents instead?
Well, they're not up here. We already talked about that earlier. Were you not listening?
You're not going to open them again?
Not.
We're going to open them next week. They're all scattered around the house. I wasn't reminded. And we got a lot to catch up with. It's already 30 minutes into the show, for crying out loud. It's 9:30. Let's get going.
You had all week.
Oh, jeez.
2 weeks.
Honestly, it's been almost 2 months.
Okay.
Why don't you open the presents then?
This was for March the 21st. Kevin versus Sammy.
This person says, Granny's dad probably voted for Woodrow Wilson. That's true. Wow. All right, go ahead. Sammy and who?
Sammy and Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kev.
Kevin goes out of the ring first thing. Keeps staying out of the ring. Every time Sammy comes near him, he jumps out of the ring. Throws him back into the ring. Kevin kicks Sammy in the face while Sammy's down. Sammy has the short hair this time instead of the long crap. Kevin has
Wow.
It's got to buy the short hairs.
Yeah.
chokehold wearing Sammy down. A couple of kick-outs by Sammy. Another wearing down, hold on Sammy. Back suplex. Kevin has complete control. Bangs face on April. Must have been...
Uh-oh. April O'Neil? from
On
the
April?
Turtles?
Isn't that CM Punk's wife?
Apron. Okay.
Okay.
Must
Could be
have
the
been,
month.
must have been 10 kickouts. A gut buster. Uh-oh, Sammy gets in a few punches. Kevin jumps up from the top rope. Sammy puts knees up. But even though Kevin wins and made Sammy really look bad. He was really bad. I gave that a 7. Then I watched another Kevin and Sammy match where they were doing just fine back and forth and everything. All of a sudden, those creepy Usos come in
Those creeps.
and they beat the heck out of poor Kevin.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then they let Sammy win that one. It should have been a disqualification, but they let him have it. I only gave that one a 2.
Wow. That's a very, very low grade.
I feel like it was better than a 2, but who am I?
Guessing it is a lot better than a 2.
Then I have a Wendell Richter versus the Spider Lady.
Window
Wanda.
Richter.
Yeah.
Wendy.
Wendy. Okay. Window Richter.
Spider comes in all in black.
I have got a gimmick for Vinny.
Yeah.
Even
Oliver Wendell Richter.
did I finish?
Go ahead.
Please.
Sorry.
Now you lost me.
Window Richter
And the spider
face
lady.
the Spider Lady.
She was all in black, even a mask. Headbutt, clothesline, hand full of hair. The ref made a 3 count on Wendy. Won't quit. So Wendy rips off the mask off a Spider, and guess who it was?
Miss Elizabeth.
Woodrow Wilson.
Fabulous Moolah.
Man. Yeah, that was a screw job, Granny.
I gave that
The
a 5.
Spider Lady pinned her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she wasn't supposed to.
Okay, now that's for the record.
Moving on.
Yep.
Now I have some questions,
Okay.
if I can find the rights. How did Vince get back in?
Are these
And
the
I-
riddles?
Money.
I'm kind of glad he did, because if
Oh, no.
he's the top owner, why does he have to even leave? I don't care what he did.
What's the next question?
Okay. What will happen if they sell it outside the country? Will that hurt us, the U.S.?
Will it hurt the U.S.?
Yeah, if they sell it to...
Like we'll go to war?
No.
I'm sure they'll still operate here in the U.S.
Okay. And then when's the next big match?
Saturday is the Royal Rumble.
Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, they had a 20-man thing where they throw them out of the ring?
Yes, sort of.
So they-
Yes, there's 30 men.
30 men and 30 women.
Yeah, they had
2 different matches.
I only saw the 30 men, but they also had a 61, I think. I didn't do that one.
I think they once had 50 and it
but
sucked.
at the 21,
They did the 60-man battle royals for
World War III in WCW.
WCW.
WCW, yeah, World War III.
guess who won that one?
Kevin Nash, I think, won one.
I think it was Randy Savage, wasn't it?
No,
They both did, actually.
The Big Show,
Who won it?
Paul White.
Sheamus.
Oh, that was
He won. He won that. I was so surprised.
I think that was the greatest Royal Rumble of all time.
Oh,
when they
the
did.
great in Saudi, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now I've got 10 of something.
Oh,
Honky Tonk Man, Don Muraco, Tito Santana, The Ultimate Warrior, Ricky Steamboat, King Kong Bundy,
Oh, no.
Harley Race, Jake Roberts, Jim Snuka, and Jim Dugan.
Jim Snuka and
Jim
Jim
Dugan.
Dugan. These
Dum Dum
were
Dugan?
wrestlers of the 80s.
Video game characters.
You're right, Brian.
That's right. Male wrestlers
That's
of
it?
the 80s. Yep.
That's a
Thank
awfully
you.
large umbrella to... Well, that's right.
Jim Snuka.
I never heard that one. I think I've actually heard James Snuka, but never Jim.
Jim.
Oh, there was another one, too. A ladder, it was in 1999, a ladder match between Austin and the McMahons. And Austin just
Oh,
did, he beat the heck out of those guys.
I'm sure he did.
And then, and it was one of those ladder matches where he, after all that beating and everything, actually, Shane got up enough to get, he went and got it and won it.
Wow.
So,
Shane beat Stone Cold Steve Austin in 1999.
and another thing too, Hogan must be pretty old now, isn't he?
Yes.
'Cause he,
Yeah, he's old, bruh.
I prefer set in his ways.
He's 1953, 69 years old.
that's not too, well, that's old for a wrestler.
That is actually just very old for
When
a
you're
wrestler.
93, it ain't that old, is it, Granny?
He does not wrestle anymore, so he is definitely retired.
You are almost 25 years older than Hulk Hogan, whose father did not wrestle in World War I or fight.
You don't know that.
I bet he would tell you he did.
That's true.
Pretty sure the math don't work out for that one.
Well, sometimes I don't feel like 93, and sometimes I do.
How old do you feel today?
I feel pretty good. I really enjoyed Lynn coming over, but my sleep is what's bothered. I don't sleep too well.
Sorry to hear that.
Hulk Hogan was born in Augusta, Georgia, August 11, 1953, the son of construction foreman Pietro Bolea.
Wow.
I didn't know his father's name was Pietro.
That seems like it should be a more common knowledge.
Yeah.
He makes
They
wonderful
called him
pizza.
Peter.
Such good pizza.
But it was
The
Pietro.
best.
Pietro.
I think that's all I got.
All
Oh,
right.
and I saw a coyote in my neighbor's yard today.
Oh, really?
Was it chasing a roadrunner?
Oh, did you look what I've got on
I
the
got it,
floor?
Shawn.
What I have on the floor?
There appears to be a raccoon. Is that what that is?
Nope.
What is that?
Like a frog?
Jared, get in close on that thing. What is
Yeah,
that?
it's too far away.
What is that? Bag?
It's a frog.
Aha!
Oh, it is. It's a frog in the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, with fruit in it.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Granny, let me
Hello,
tell you,
my
if you ever
raccoon.
trip over whatever's on the floor after a show, I'm going to be real mad.
No.
I like the Easter egg, but don't trip on that thing. It is, in fact,
What?
a frog with a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, we wouldn't want you
Or
to
as Tom
croak.
would call it, a wheelbarrow.
Well, it was outside, but the critters knocked it off and broke its leg, so I had to.
The
bring it in.
critters?
Yeah, critters out there. There's critters.
Yeah,
There's,
the coyote.
there's squirrels and
The
coyotes.
80s
and
movie.
all kinds of
I
stuff
heard
out
bad news. I
there.
don't want those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if anything throws a ball back, Granny, it's E.T. Okay?
Okay.
All right, anything else?
Riddles.
I'm
Oh,
done.
yeah, do we have any riddles or whatever? The joke book?
9:39.
Oh, I forgot about
Ain't
that.
got nothing to do tomorrow, Craig. Just build a cabinet.
Wow.
I didn't even bring my book out.
Just casually bury the man's entire career.
That takes no
I
skill.
almost got it out with a straight face.
I'm skipping around here, so the book's going to be done before long.
Oh, no.
Well, if you skip around.
Well, let's skip to the end then.
Are you skipping the good ones?
I'm
Skip it all together.
Why are WWE superstars bad at bowling? Or have I done this before?
Too much
remember that
striking.
Any other one?
Their minds are in the gutter.
Keep going.
I don't know why.
Because they can only get one pin at a time.
Ah.
That's okay.
Huh.
All right, let's skip to the end then.
I'm
Why
pretty sure
can't-
Craig would write a far superior WWE joke book than this one.
Probably.
Why can't a WWE ref light a fire?
Something about a match.
Can't start a match?
He always stops the match.
I
Yes.
see. Oh, I got it backwards.
Oh. He also starts the match.
That's true. What do
we got smarter than joke book.
Book is bullshit.
What do the Hurricane, The Rock, and The Miz have in common?
Nothing. Not one thing. They're men.
Triple H has pinned all of them.
No. They share a first name, Duh.
All right.
That's not even a joke.
We're done. God.
That was
I'm
awful.
actually angry about that one.
God.
Let's see what all there is.
The.
You're supposed to
All
go
of
out
these
on
are better than Tim's question.
Well, that's
Okay.
true.
What do Undertaker's bath towels say?
UT.
You got something on you.
Oh, him and Hearse.
Yep.
Oh!
Wait a minute. It's his
His and hers.
His and hers.
Thank you.
What?
Yeah, that would be his.
Yeah,
Oh, his. That's what I said.
You said him.
Yeah, you
That's
did.
what I meant.
I know.
How does Charlotte Flair
many of
browse
these we
the
gonna read?
internet?
How does she what?
How does she browse the internet?
With Flair?
The Charlotte's Web.
Oh.
Okay, I can't take any more.
Is that it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Forever.
I'll remember I did this.
I'll never forget.
Who suggested this book?
I mean,
Yes.
never
You bought it
recover.
for her.
Brian,
I know who suggested it.
but
Yeah,
you
but-
brought it to me, Brian.
I know. I didn't read it first.
I don't think it's bad at all.
Okay, well, we can do more.
It
next
is, though.
We can. Hey, listen, it's her segment. If she laughs, I mean, she laughed at Tim's question for crying out loud.
Well,
All right.
Tim stays up late just to.
I believe that, actually. I believe Tim stayed up late thinking of that question.
He appears to have gone to bed after we asked this question, though. So,
Logged out.
yeah.
Oh,
Disgust.
He's a good friend of mine. He's a college professor.
Oh.
You think he'd be smarter?
Yes.
Oh.
Loves poop jokes.
All right. Anything else, Granny?
what was the
No,
college?
I'm done.
Michael P. Keaton. Alex always buried.
I don't
Princeton.
I'm glad it all worked here.
know. From Family
It did
Ties?
all
Yeah.
work out, Granny. You know how to reboot that thing
Alice
all by
P. Keaton.
yourself.
Alice P.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you.
Later.
We'll see you next week then.
Congratulations, Shawn.
Thank you, Granny.
It's the nicest thing she's ever said about somebody.
I
getting
appreciate
married.
that.
I hope it's a happy one.
So far, so good.
I'll keep you in my prayers.
She's praying for your marriage, Sean. She's
Already.
praying.
It's better than
It's
praying
gonna
for
be
Brian's
okay.
soul.
God.
And if it doesn't work, then it was your fault. Because of the
That is
second
true.
one.
Oh, wow.
I'll vouch for that one.
Yeah, that'll probably be true.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm done.
All right, get out of here.
Thank you.
Well, she broke Shawn.
You got to know what you're in for when you participate in this program.
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
All right. So this is going to be weird because we all watched the show a week ago. I'm assuming then the show got canceled. And I'm assuming none of us took the time to go back and watch this show over again because it was not a good show.
Okay, so I decided to find a write-up on this or a review or something. What I found was R.D. Reynolds, our good mutual friend, on his WrestleCrap site actually reviewed this show mostly about what Bastion Booger said during the matches.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was watching this show last week, and I was about 5 minutes in when I got a text about Jay Briscoe. So there's a good chance I'm going to remember virtually nothing of this show. I did watch the final 10 minutes this week.
Okay.
Including the last 5 seconds, which I hope everyone stuck around for. Please tell me you all stuck around for the last 5 seconds.
Forgotten.
I think so.
Was that the Quebecers and Johnny Polo?
No, we'll get to it. I remember now.
Excellent.
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
So let's do our best here. And you know what I got to say? I don't want to say Artie's wrong. I don't want to say Bastion Booger was good, because he wasn't. But it's one of those deals where I've watched a lot of shitty people doing commentary for the last 40 years or so.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, it was just whatever.
Bastion Booger was one of them.
It wasn't good.
No.
It wasn't that bad. It was just a guy doing his gimmick. Vince is being Vince, and...
Was he ever?
I mean, was he really that much worse than,
He was significantly better than Crush.
IRS?
He was on par with IRS, I would say.
He was eating food throughout the Raw.
That is a pet peeve of mine, but...
In a disgusting manner.
Yeah.
And Vince, of course, thinks all fat guys, well, the way Bryan thinks of them, they just eat all the time.
That's not true, but, I mean, factually, that's what he did the entire show. He did nothing but eat from the beginning of the show to the end, and he was fat. So...
Yes, you were surprised to see a fat guy eating fruit at one point.
That is not true. Now, can we move on?
No, it is totally true.
It was a joke. Come on.
No, it wasn't.
Happy you are.
Going. God.
We watched WWF Raw Season 2, Episode 6, February 7th, 1994. We open with a relative high point, the return of the bombastic Vince McMahon voiceover. Talking about Marty Jannetty filling in for the 1-2-3 Kid. The Kid was on the announce team. Erwin R. Shyster, outraged by the Kid's accusations. Erwin R. Shyster then shoved the defenseless Kid to the floor. And Kid takes the briefcase and flees.
He's a fucking wrestler. The defenseless Kid.
That's what he said.
He beat Razor Ramon clean.
IRS went to start Jannetty's permanent retirement fund until, oh yeah! Suddenly, Erwin R. Shyster's desire for revenge had been stopped cold. Because Razor Ramon came out. Marty Jannetty meets the tax man, Erwin R. Shyster, tonight on Raw. So it is Bastion Booger on commentary. And he kicks.
In his fucking gear.
He's in his gear, eating food with his chest hair hanging out everywhere. Vince, I know Vince is not a small person, but Vince is way taller than him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I realize that Vince likes giants, and in his own way, Booger was a giant. But it was weird to see how much shorter he was. He's not tall.
Bro,
I think
Bastion
gravity has
Booger
brought
being employed
Booger
is
down.
weird. Yeah. He wasn't tall. He, you could say, well, Vince likes these big fat guys or whatever, but there were much bigger, fatter guys that were much better. He couldn't work at all.
No.
He couldn't move at all. And it's like, why, God bless the guy and everything like that, but why was he employed?
I
don't know.
I guess he was just willing to humiliate himself to use Vince.
Everybody was.
This must have been the highlight of his career, doing commentary here tonight.
Wasn't he like
a monk?
Well, he was the Friar Ferguson first, but even before that, he was like in Stampede having matches with Owen. Everyone was raving about.
I would bet that was actually the highlight of his career, was that Stampede run.
So he has the expected rude jokes. Sparky plugs on the show. I got a little extra gas for Sparky. The Rocket Owen Hart's on the show. I like the Rocket. I'm ready for blast off. These jokes, I must stress this, 0% funny.
Yeah.
However, Vince McMahon's reaction to them, pretty goddamn great.
Yeah. Crush was also on the show. Booger said he was going to crush these nachos.
Yes. Smoking Guns versus Barry Horowitz and Reno Riggins. So think about this. This is Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass from AEW these days. He's here wrestling on TV. Bastion Booger is laughing at him for being a skinny geek.
Well, quite frankly, back then he was skinny.
He was
geek.
much skinnier.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, they were having a surprisingly good wrestling match. Because Reno Riggins, especially Barry Horowitz, are very good. But then Reno tries the Northern Lights suplex. Bart blocks it, powers him up, tags in Billy. They hit a big slam. They dropkick Barry, and the Guns win. Better than I expected.
It was a match. is what it was.
Here is some actual commentary from Bash and Booger during that match.
Okay.
I love barbecue. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you. All right.
What are you doing with the barbecue?
Cooking.
I see.
It is a lot of fun to barbecue.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
You're talking to Craig, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the first thing I'd say on commentary, but
No.
No, I try to have some relevant observation or...
it's fun to go down a snowy hill in a toboggan, but what the fuck does that have to do with the smoking guns?
I don't have an answer.
There's smoking involved.
We had a recap of Owen Hart furthering the agony of Brett with a kick to the knee. We have an interview with Owen from All American Wrestling. Says kicking Brett in the leg felt good. It was a lifetime.
When he said kicking him in the leg, there's a brief
Yes.
brief pause where he probably had to redo this interview about 6 times because every time he mentioned the leg, he probably fucking started laughing about his own fuck up. But he made it through this one.
A lifetime of frustration. It felt great to get a lifetime of frustration off my chest. I should have kicked you again, but I had composure. Now Brett's being interviewed by Vince on the same show. Brett shows up with a Stu Hart t-shirt, which is a great touch. He would never forgive himself for physically confronting his brother. May not forgive the people who set this up, he says, looking at Vince, or Owen himself, or even myself.
God, problems with Vince.
1994?
Yeah, 94 now.
It's got to be resolved. I don't see any other way around it. Time to settle this thing. Mom and Dad will be sick, but I did everything I could to prevent this. Maybe I can knock some sense into him.
You know what's funny is they I mean, you know, if you knew a little bit about wrestling, you knew that Vince owned WWF, but it was never part of the story until 97 that he was the owner. They kept it secret on television. You know, Vince was just the announcer and Jack Tunney was the president and everything else. But on this show, Bash and Booger of all people broke kayfabe when he was talking about enjoying all the food. And he goes, I ain't paying for it, Vince. Don't you try to take it out of my paycheck. And Vince just moved on. But Bash and Booger revealed to the world that Vince, in fact, was the one who signed his paychecks.
Owen Hart versus John Paul. So Owen tries the bit where
John Paul wasn't bad.
We've seen John Paul a few times.
Yeah, we've seen him a few times. He had potential.
Yeah. Owen tries to do the bit where he's got the Bret Hart sunglasses. And he pretends to get into a kid, then tears him up. This kid didn't care one bit.
No.
Not moved. Owen this week, this is, I think, his first match since he's a full-fledged heel. Extra vicious, extra being a dick. Vince making jokes about Ted Turner and Jane Fonda. Probably having the time of his life. Owen won with a sharpshooter.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of memories of any of this show.
This is what we remember is mostly bad.
Yeah.
Since this was the audio was taped in Stamford, but Bastion had to sit out there during this match. During this match, I believe Bastion was choking on his chicken wings, and he was almost near death. And then it cuts to an angle where you just see him sitting there, and
there's one. It may be this part. I have it as choking on pizza, but regardless, yes, they're like. There's a line, and Vince is like, "Oh, we may have a fatality here on Raw. Bastion Booger is choking to death right before my eyes. Help! Somebody help him!" That's all he does.
It was at this point that Bastion said, "Vince, you haven't lived up to your contract. I require 4 or 5 pizzas delivered in a wheelbarrow."
In a wheelbarrow?
Why a wheelbarrow?
I have no idea, but that's what he said.
I mean, fuck, I order 5 pizzas. I don't care how they get here.
No.
I don't require a wheelbarrow. In fact, quite frankly, I don't want them delivered in a wheelbarrow.
No, a car will suffice.
Yes.
So anyway,
thick bag.
We throw it to Paul Bearer hanging out in, quote, the graveyard.
A square bag. Because that's how those pizza bags are. They're square.
I see.
So Paul Bearer's in the graveyard. There's snow on the ground. He's telling us, if you believe in the Undertaker, you must have faith. He will return to us. Some say they have seen the Undertaker. I saw him just the other day. Meanwhile, in the background, the Undertaker just moseys through.
This was not subtle.
Like he's bored.
The subtlety has quickly fallen off with the departure of the Undertaker. Yes.
Paul Bearer is not very observant.
No, this makes Paul Bearer look like a boob.
Yeah.
Like, he's
well, it's
behind
one
you,
of those
dumbass.
things where, you know, Paul doesn't see it because it's not there, but we're the ones who are nutty because we're seeing a guy who's not there. Like the warrior in the mirror.
This was no Easter egg. This was obvious.
No. And Paul promises the Undertaker will rise again. I'm like, dude, he's risen.
He has risen.
He's there. I see him.
Yeah.
All right. IRS versus Marty Jannetty.
I mean, he rose the day that he was killed. That was the gimmick.
He actually
rose.
did rise. That's true.
Ascended.
He did ascend.
IRS versus Marty Jannetty. A week later, I'm not sure they actually did anything in this match. It went a long time.
I don't remember anything about
They
this.
tried to avoid breaking a sweat or burning any calories.
I wrote Irwin not on his game.
He had a game.
He did not look good.
There was a long abdominal stretch. There was a long
I imagine this
chin
being
lock.
exactly like Marty Jannetty versus Bray Wyatt, now that I think about it.
Well,
Probably be a very similar match,
yeah.
actually.
That's, well, I mean,
Yes.
a strong condemnation, but you're not wrong.
Yes.
So at some point, the Quebecers are out there interfering, and they're not. It's not a DQ. They're just sent to the back. Then they just come back anyway. Johnny Polo trips Marty Jannetty as he's trying a sunset flip, and Irwin hits a cradle and wins. And then the Quebecers, Razor's out there somehow. I don't know, whatever. The Quebecers attack Razor. Marty makes a save, and it ends with Jacques Quebecer taking the Razor's edge.
It was at this point that Bastion Booger demanded hot dogs.
Golly. I had a hot dog for dinner.
Were they delivered in a wheelbarrow too?
Yeah.
That seems excessive.
It does seem like you wouldn't need a wheelbarrow for a hot dog.
No.
That's a big hot dog.
Yeah. So after the break, we were told Razor and Jannetty have called.
It's a big wiener.
Yes, Brian.
What it is.
Yeah, it's a good dick joke.
I wasn't making a dick joke. I was talking about a wiener.
Yeah, the big one.
Yes, a big wiener.
Big juicy wiener.
Yes, in between two buns.
Oh, you broke Vinny.
You know, if that WWE joke book, you just opened it up and said, big wiener between two buns.
Oh. This show used to be good, right?
No.
About-
No. It actually used to be
No.
much worse.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So Razor Ramon and Marty Jannetty, they called Jack Tunney on the telephone. They want a tag title match against the Quebecers in 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks, not one. Because next week, it's the dog show.
Oh, God.
Preemptive for the
We
dog.
should fucking watch the dog show.
We
Do they have
it
those
on the
on
network?
Peacock?
That's actually not a terrible idea at all. Thurman Plug, his friends call him Sparky, versus Dwayne Gill. All right, here's the one where Booker is choking, and Vince is like promising the audience that they stay tuned, they'll see a fatality. And finally, Booker recovers. Says, "You would have let me die right there." Vince says, "That's not it at all. I called for help." Sparky's gear, the most 1990s thing I've ever seen. It was purple and lime green and hot pink and powder blue and teal. He's
Sounds like a race car.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
So
This show was in the 90s.
Well, you're right. So we talked about how hardcore Holly, trying to be everybody's friend Thurman Sparky Plug, is would be the funniest thing ever. He's out here and there's a squash, but he's still like trying to show babyface fire, do the smile and the fist pump thing, the Rick Martel bit. I laughed so hard. You've never seen a guy who didn't want to be a babyface trying to be a babyface so bad. He's
You're
horrible
telling
at
me
this.
Bob Hawley didn't want to be a babyface race car driver
This
named
is-
Thurman?
He did not want to be a good guy. He didn't want to be nice.
He wanted to do his Holocaust and go home.
Yeah, well,
God damn, that's right.
well, he didn't use the Holocaust, which was in fact what they called his finisher one time, exactly one time. No, instead, because he's a race car driver, has a race car driver gimmick, he won with the overhead cam, which was
Not the overdrive.
no,
The overhead cam.
what they called it.
Wow.
It was either a splash or a knee drop. I honestly couldn't tell.
But he got him.
He got him. He got that
Yes.
win over Dwayne Gill.
Yeah.
Todd Pettengill hosts the WrestleMania Report.
This was where I got caught up this week, so I got more vivid memories of this. Although I have no memory of this segment now that I think about it.
There's not
He
one.
plugged WrestleMania.
He put WrestleMania. They had Lex
Yeah.
win the coin toss. It's Lex versus Yoko, Brett versus Owen. Then Brett gets a title shot no matter what. Cornette does a promo. Yokozuna's not afraid of fighting 2 men at once. They are upset that Lex Luger is getting this title shot, even though he used a hip toss that they called a body slam. Then he used an illegal foreign object at SummerSlam. He's violating his contract. He was never supposed to get another shot. Doesn't matter, though. Yokozuna will be ready for you.
Bonsai.
And this actually made me excited for like the Lex Luger Yokozuna match, which what a payoff we get there. But there is a new match announced. Randy Savage will face his old friend Crush.
God damn, I don't know how many months ago it was, but they were doing this Crush Randy Savage angle. It's like, when is, and then you mentioned at the time, you go, this goes all the way through WrestleMania. And we thought, no, it doesn't. There's no way. And here we are. They have just added to WrestleMania. Randy Savage versus Crush.
Yeah.
God! End this already.
Well, they won't end it till WrestleMania, at least.
Wow.
It's a Falls Count Anywhere match, but I forgot this part.
Yes, this was weird.
You can pin a guy anywhere, but then you have 60 seconds to get back in the ring. So you can't pin him like a mile away. You
No.
never make it back in time.
And it's not you pin him and then the ref counts to 10. It's once there's a pinfall, you either both get back to the ring
Yeah.
or whoever doesn't get back to the ring loses.
So if
last
Randy
man
Savage
standing.
pins Crush, but for the sake of argument, Crush is a faster runner and he gets
Yes.
back to the ring first, does he win?
No, unless it takes 61 seconds for the other guy to get to the ring.
So Crush could theoretically get pinned, but still be the count and win the match.
Yes.
Strange.
Yeah, this was bizarre. Whoever heard of that? Falls count anywhere. You get a pin anywhere. But it's like, it's called Falls Count Anywhere.
Right.
But it doesn't count anywhere.
Right.
It only counts if you make it back to the ring.
You have to be within 60 seconds of the ring. So
Was this like the old rules in somewhere? Is that what this was? Because we never saw it again, to my knowledge.
I mean, that would make some
Falls
sense.
count anywhere
because,
just ended up being you pinned somebody anywhere.
Because a Falls Count Anywhere match, unless you're watching on TV, sucks. If you're live in the building, they're telling you won't be able to see most of this match.
Well, for the live crowd, yeah.
Right. So at least this wacky stip guarantees you will see, if nothing else, a foot race.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does he pin him in that match, though? Doesn't he just tie him up and leave him hanging in the back?
I believe, well, spoiler, but I believe he is pinned against a wall.
Oh, yeah.
Crush versus a geek. Thornblur or Thornbird or something, I don't know.
It's Dave Thornburg.
He sucks.
Dude, this jobber, Dave Thornburg, this guy was so awful. Like, he was so bad. He made Crush look like, a great worker. And then I had more respect for Bastion Booger, listening to him on commentary. This Thornburg, man, he was bottom of the barrel.
He was the worst wrestler of all time of the week.
Yeah.
They had a different
Easily.
They had a different name on the screen, but McMahon was calling him Thornburg, and so that's how I was able to figure out who he was.
McMahon always fucks up names. What was the name on the screen?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Yeah, don't trust Vince on these. He's always got it wrong.
I did
I
go
mean, I
back.
don't really need to know the guy's name.
I did go back and research it. It's Dave Thornburg.
Dave Thornburg. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dave, if you're listening, but you had a poor matchup with
B
Crush.
E R G.
Specify.
I think it's Brian's looking it up.
All right. So they had a terrible match. Crush did press.
Whatever.
And he was not small. He was in fact flabby, but Crush pressed him over his head for a long time because say what you will about Crush, the dude was big and strong. And it's a big jumping leg drop, and he won.
Booger had some more excellent commentary during this match. He said, "I have a date with Tanya Harding tonight," and then he belched a bunch.
Yeah.
She's a nice girl. That's what he said. All right, David Thornburg, which is in fact B-E-R-G. He wrestled in 93, 94, 95.
All right, it was green.
According to the Internet Wrestling Database, which is usually wildly inaccurate, it's he had 7 matches.
Oh.
I buy it.
He had a tag match with Brett Tyler against Fatu and Samu. Then he jobbed to Mr. Hughes, Diesel, Yokozuna, King Kong Bundy, Jean-Pierre Lafitte, Owen Hart and Yokozuna, and King Mabel. So, in fact, they don't even have the Crush match here, which was on Raw. Not listed here in this database.
Yeah. So the tag title match is in 2 weeks. The Quebecers are very upset about this. It's a conspiracy. And PCO begins to punch holes in the wall. Speaking of Jean-Pierre Lafitte. So next week on Raw, Bret Hart will face a heavenly body.
That's what it said. That's what the graphic said.
Yeah.
Bret Hart versus a heavenly body. Like Mars?
Nike?
Razor Ramon and Marty Jannetty versus the Quebecers for the tag titles. But again, that is in 2 weeks because of the dog show. And to remind us all of this, Vince hands Bastion Booger a milk bone, which Booger is grateful for
He eats it.
and consumes.
He starts eating this, and they give him Alpo. Remember that? Do they still make that stuff? Alpo?
They do.
Sure they do.
Wow.
And then we get, Brian, to the last 5 seconds. Well,
I
there's no
was watching
explanation for this.
Show.
Yeah.
They say goodbye, and all of a sudden there's a black screen, and there's Men on a Mission, Doink, Dink, I think Mabel,
Yeah.
It was Men on a Mission, the Bushwhackers,
Bushwhackers,
and Doink and Dink, yeah.
yeah, and they start laughing, right?
Uh,
Or what were they doing?
I had it as they were barking like dogs.
And they just like they started barking or laughing or something, and Dink starts jumping in and out of screen,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What is this?"
They're playing dogs.
I'm gonna wait and find out where this goes, and it went nowhere.
It ended.
They barked and jumped, and then the show went black.
Yes.
What was that?
They're plugging the dog show next week.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
I see.
Vince had 5 seconds to kill.
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
What a plug for the Westminster Dog Show.
Understood.
They did such a great job plugging it, I didn't even know. Wow. Well, maybe we should review that dog show someday.
Yeah.
Think they have it online?
Why not?
1994.
West.
Oh my gosh.
Westminster Dog Show. Let's see, Westminster. Spell it right. That would help. I have a list of winners. A review is on video.
No, I don't want 1994 West Webster Dog Show.
Yeah, the
Nor do
20
I want Web T Ibster Dog Shite.
No, we don't want
God
that at
damn
all.
it. I hate this phone.
There are. I found some highlight clips apparently.
How long are they?
36 seconds. Biff the Boxer was the winner of the working group at Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. We have a German Shepherd, which won the herding group in 1994.
Oh, that bitch.
My God in heaven.
Every once in a while, Craig does hit a bullseye.
God.
Can't deny that.
Jiminy Christmas.
22. I don't think.
Fuck
I don't
me.
think the 1994 Westminster Dog Show is online anymore.
I got Best in Ceremony, Westminster Dog Show, 31 minutes. It's the first thing that comes up.
Is it that year?
Well, let's see. 2018.
Andrew and I went shopping the
Is
other
that
day.
close?
No. Yes.
And we went to Buffalo Wild Wings for lunch.
Yeah.
And they have these screens that show sports all the way around.
Yes, I'm familiar.
And we walked in, and half of them were showing the dog show.
Wow.
Wow.
It was a slow sports day.
Yeah, it was a slow. Yeah.
Well, we'll decide next week, everybody. We'll let you know on Sunday what we're going to watch.
Yes.
If we just keep stalling, we'll eventually catch up. We're shortly after the Royal Rumble 1994, so, we watch the Westminster Dog Show next week, and pretty soon it'll be just like, however many years ago. 26 years ago this week or whatever. Anyway, and we're done. We've overshot our target. So, Vinny and I will be back on Thursday, AEW and NXT. Saturday's the Royal Rumble. We're going to have a post show live on YouTube and Twitch for subscribers, so be ready for that. And that's it, everybody. We'll talk to you again after a while.
Good night.
Mahalo.
Adios.